The red horse, a great sword. Revelation 6:3 says, "And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, 'Come and see.' And there went on another horse that was red." The horse is red, fiery red. The horse is red puhazo, fiery red. In Revelation 12:3, the same word is used, and there it describes the dragon, Satan, who is red. And we know that he was a murderer from the beginning. The specific work of the red horse is to take peace away from the earth, the entire earth. This speaks of a disturbance of nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, as Matthew 24 verse 7 says. This speaks of war, strife, bloodshed, and the general commotions that occur when nations war against each other. The red horse has power over life and death, and this message is a worldwide message because the red horse is to take peace from the earth. And world wars occur whenever nations depart from the Ten Commandments and the word of the Lord. As Judges 5:8 says, "They chose new gods, then was war in the gates." But the red horse movement not only concerns itself with nation fighting against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, that is literal war, but it concerns itself also with spiritual war and strife, spiritual declension in God's church, as the horse changes colors from white to red. Notice that it is a second beast, a calf, who says, "Come and see," and the red horse seal is opened. In the history of the red horse, we're speaking not only of literal war, but also of a golden calf apostasy, similar to the days of Moses. The horse goes from pure white to blood red, the golden calf apostasy. Apostasy, friends, is predicted in the second seal for the once pure church, the white horse. And the Lord tells us in Jeremiah 17 verse 3, "Thus saith the Lord, Cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord." Apostasy took hold of the Advent movement in the prophecy of the red horse. The church was infiltrated by worldly forces. The church began to give up doctrines which stood as the pillars of the faith. As World War I and II were to be unleashed, testimonies on military service were rejected by the church. The church position was that one needed to be a conscientious objector, an individual who on religious, moral, or ethical grounds refuses to participate as a combatant in war. But as the pressures of war came, many entered military service without standing up for what the Bible supports. A golden calf apostasy was in the making. But such men as Desmond Doss would prove the cowards in God's cause wrong, as he was the first conscientious man who refused to carry a weapon into combat because of his personal beliefs. He thus became a medic, and by serving in the Pacific theater of World War II, helped his country by saving the lives of his fellow soldiers while also adhering to his religious convictions. There was also backsliding in the area of health reform. The testimony about the Laodicean church was slighted and rejected. Testimonies concerning the use of drugs in the health retreat were completely ignored. The medical school at Loma Linda was in complete apostasy as they adopted worldly methods and sacrificed the principles of health reform. Righteousness by faith in Jesus was rejected in 1888. True organization is rejected in 1901. But the Lord came to his own, and his own received him not. Revelation 6:4 says, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given him to sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another, and there was given him a great sword." The second seal brings another earth-shattering event into focus. This prophecy in Revelation 6 predicts a great sword would come upon the entire earth. In other words, world war is predicted in this prophecy, and it's very specific. It comes after the time period of the white horse, which was from 1844 to 1915. Friends, the prophecy says that the inhabitants of the earth are appointed to the sword, to strife, to bloodshed. A kingdom sign was fulfilled when the second seal of Revelation 6 was opened. In 1914, this earth was struck by a shock wave from which it has never fully recovered. World War I, and such men as Kaiser Wilhelm II, the German emperor, catapulted mankind into critical times that continue even to this day. Nation would rise up against nation in the First World War, and the Bible had predicted it. The Russian Revolution in 1917 destroyed the Tsarist autocracy and led to the creation of the Soviet Union. Many died in that Bolshevik revolution. President Woodrow Wilson's League of Nations failed. Adolf Hitler rose up in Germany, and with him the desire to exterminate all of Jewish origin. Auschwitz, the Nazi concentration camps. What more can be said about man's inhumanity to man? He who accepts evil without protesting against it is really cooperating with it. And many surprising players were involved in the events of the two world wars. As Averell Manhattan, an English historian in 1960 says, he says the Vatican, it was in the Vatican World Politics, that's where he said it. He says no political event or circumstance can be evaluated without the knowledge of the Vatican's part in it. And no significant world situation exists in which the Vatican does not play an important explicit or implicit role. Friends, history has proven that the Vatican has played a major role in the sustaining of dictators and in the death of millions throughout Europe, especially during World War II. Hitler's Pope is a book published in 1999 by the British journalist and author John Cornwell that examines the actions of Pope Pius XII during the Nazi era and explores the charge that he assisted in the legitimization of Hitler's Nazi Germany in the year 1933. Pope Pius XII, in pursuit of absolute power, helped Adolf Hitler destroy German Catholic political opposition, betrayed the Jews of Europe, and sealed a deeply cynical pact with the 20th century devil, Adolf Hitler. The book is critical of Pius's conduct during the Second World War, criticizing him for not doing enough or speaking out enough against the Holocaust. Benito Mussolini rose up in Italy and General Francisco Franco in Spain, all from Roman Catholic Church. Europe was once again engaged in total war. The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor on December the 7th, 1941, and the United States entered World War II. Kingdom would rise up against kingdom. Jesus had predicted it in Matthew 24, and the entire world was once again engaged in total warfare. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the noiseless flash. At exactly 15 minutes past 8 in the morning, on August the 6th, 1945, the atomic bomb flashed over Hiroshima. The Japanese called it the place of suffering because 100,000 people died there. 13,937 were declared missing, and 37,425 people died later, horribly disfigured. The red horse of war had ridden into human history. And what can be said of the Korean War, the Vietnam conflict, the Iraq War, the Second Seal? The ominous omen of war and bloodshed had been opened, and a great sword was prophesied. The horse was red, fiery red, the color of blood. The red horse of the apocalypse had ridden into human history, spilled much blood, and millions were killed.